All right. Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to another Monday on this beautiful planet on Web3, on the Web3 network. We're stacking things today. Good to see you guys in the house early on this week. We do have a lot to cover. We got y00ts moving to Polygon. We got some Otherside second trips. I'm sitting here with Gifted, my trusty friend who's always rocking something different. It's always something different. We got a Huxley. It's a Huxley hoodie slash so Gutter Cat Gang hoodie. So we're just basically fulfilling all the stereotypes today. What's up? He starts the week muted.
I mean, come on, fam. We keep it professional up in here. I was saying you can't forget the zkEVM
Oh, okay.
hat over here.
That's not going to save you.
So, yeah.
Where'd you get the Huxley hoodie?
I feel like from the first ever Web3 lounge at the last NFT NYC. Huxley was one of our partners, and they came through with an amazing. It was the first ever game demo for the Huxley game. Ben Morrow was there in attendance the whole 4 days. So yeah, shout out anybody that was at the first Web3 lounge at the last NFT NYC. First multi-day event, 4 days. And Huxley was there in a big way, and they were giving out these amazing hoodies. These hoodies are freaking dope, bro. They're like really high quality, and they're just giving them out for free.
We definitely have to confirm with each other like what our wardrobes are, because I don't think like the double black hoodie just confirms a lot of stereotypes that we might want to stay away from. So
you know what? Stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason, Q. And you know what? I'm not ashamed. I am not ashamed.
Gang. Okay, hey, Don R saying OVOT family, it's a great day, Squash Man, OVOT. I got Omar saying GM Web3. Good GM to you, sir. Nox Darkness saying OVOT, happy Monday, everyone. Great spaces this morning. All right, we'll touch on that here in a second. Nox, I also have your ape. I know you pinged me. I know I need to get you your ape from last week. Don't go calling anybody to come knock on my door. And then Prodigy is saying, how does is when RB bout to win doing today, fam? Yes.
Not doing so hot, apparently.
Yes, you're not doing hot. You might be having a stroke. Get that checked out. All right, I'm going to pull up the NFT live link for the day. You know the deal. We are doing this every day starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. If you guys can help us get the word out about the best NFT show on YouTube, it would definitely help out. And, we also appreciate people on Twitter, on Spotify, on Twitch. You guys are bringing it every day. You're all a part of this Web3 community. Why are you like this? I don't know, Prodigy. You'll have to figure that out. I just dropped a link for NFT Live. Here is the deal. We're covering the y00ts moving to Polygon today. They have a handy-dandy visual for this as well from Wormhole, the platform they're using to actually control, or I guess process the bridge. Gif, I was talking to you last week about how I visualized the 514 gods on BTC. Well, they actually, in this visual, they have the y00ts boarding a train. So it hit on all the things that I'm interested in. Otherside happened over the weekend. Gifted took part, so we're going to cover that. We got Nakamigos pumping a little bit as well. So we got some green in a relatively red market still. It's still a bear, folks. It's still a bear. I can't change that here on NFT Live, but I can be hanging out with you folks.
Q, if you can't solve all of our problems, what's your point? What's the point of you at all, Q?
Just to enjoy it.
Just make the bull market happen already. Jeez. All right.
How was GM Web3?
It was great. It was awesome. Yeah. On to more better things to talk about. I kind of feel like Prodigy's chat message over here. My brain has still not been, fully functioning. Yeah, I feel like through most of GM Web3 today, I was stumbling over my words and I wasn't my sharpest, but it was an amazing conversation as it usually is as we wake up together and kick off the week the proper way with some of the greatest co-hosts and contributors in the entire space coming through. You and Andy James really got into it there for a little bit.
In a good way.
Yeah, of course. Only the best kind of ways. One of the most contentious topics over the past, couple months has, of course, been Blur. And if you want to hear an excellent conversation around the good, the bad, the ugly, different takes on what Blur is doing to the ecosystem writ large, both short term and long term, go check out GM Web3 from this morning on Twitter or on Spotify. We don't plug Spotify enough. Can we pull up Spotify? Can we share the beautiful homepage for the Web3 network over there on Spotify? Because it looks amazing. Shout out Jacob Gooden, our executive producer. He is absolutely killing it. Because if you don't know, all of our live content from both GM Web3, NFT Live, and even some of our other shows when we do it, it goes over to Spotify and it gets published and syndicated out to audio platforms within mere hours, sometimes less than an hour after we finish the show. It's already up there. So very shortly, GM Web3 will be here on the Web3 network, on Spotify, but also you can listen to it recorded on Twitter, of course.
Donar saying this show is sometimes kind of like a support circle for people having strokes. That's the nicest thing you've ever said, Donar. You know what? Hey, yo.
He's not wrong.
Hey, yo. Hey, we have some quick hits to hit to, actually. Let me get to this. I don't know what the heck is happening with the screen share now on Restream. So quick hits. I've got a couple things. One, we were just talking about Blur. Well, it looks like wash trading is not only relegated to Web3. So according to a research report that was released yesterday, former Cash App employees estimate that 40 to 75% of accounts on the app were fake or fraudulent and could be traced back to one single person. So wash trading just happening all over the financial sector, GIF. What are your thoughts here?
I mean, okay.
Stumped.
If this is true, no, like I'm soaking it in. This is the first time that I'm hearing of this, right? If this is true, this is like massive fraud, right? Like, because he's been out there using stats, using data to, I'm sure, raise money, create different valuations, probably pump different stocks, or like I don't know exactly what public entities are involved in this or how shareholders might get involved in this type of thing as well. But this is basically the same thing as like, hey, I'm an influencer, quote unquote influencer. I'm just going to buy a bunch of bots and fake followers and engagement and then sell my purported engagement metrics to brands, take their money for fake engagement and fake followers. But you're doing this now with like established business entities that have corporations and different sort of liabilities tied to them. And like, this is just massive fraud if this is true.
Yeah, Cash App's huge as well. Like Cash App is not only like a payment processor, they're a marketplace for stocks, Bitcoin, Ethereum. We'll be following that for sure. I got a couple other quick hits. Gifted got a handy dandy canvas from Oniforce. What's going on here, Gif?
Yeah, maybe I can actually pull this up. Well, I don't want to go run and get it, but yeah, check it out. This is my new NFT canvas. Shout out NFT canvases. Basically for being like an OG Oni holder and going to their NFT LA event, I got this custom canvas that has, like, if you see in the bottom corner there, the logo, there's actually an NFC near field communication chip that is embedded into the canvas, right? So you scan that with your phone and it actually is tied directly to this token, pulls it up. So it is a custom canvas with an embedded NFC ID chip in it. It's really cool. It's great quality. And I got it just for being a holder and going to their NFT LA event. So I'm very excited to get this framed, find a place to hang it, because I really don't have a lot of Oni merch. I think it's my first piece of actual Oni merch is having this nice print. And that is my Forever Oni token number 35. That is one of the original 77 tokens that were gifted to the community. That's my Forever Oni.
This is not financial advice. Seriously, do not buy this shit, or do. We don't care. I think that was the worst CTA we could ever give him. But you can see it on the ticker. Gifted, we always start the show by saying this is not financial advice. Nothing we say here is or should be taken as financial advice. Please do not buy the shit we're talking about. That being said, Gifted, Oniforce feels like you should just, like, seriously, you should just be stocking up on Oniforce at this point. I'm talking about you, not the person at home, not you that are listening to our beautiful voices that is sitting there wondering if you should get into Oniforce. It's about us. Because what's it at? Like 0.15 now? Like what's the Oniforce floor?
It's historically low for, you know, where that project has gone. Let's check it out real quick.
This is where we're at today. Oh, wait. Okay, so it was at 1 ETH, not 0.12. So if you could get it at 0.12, please do it. But Oniforce sitting at 0.86.
0.86
on NFTGO here on
Look,
our
here's what I'll say about it. And to your point, of course, nothing's financial advice. You already hit that. But the last time that it dipped down around like 0.7 or like kind of close to this level, a little bit below this level, I picked up 2 or 3 more. And then when it just pumped, I flipped those again for like a 2 or 3x.
Look at you flipping, Mr. DGen here.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I don't know if I am fully aligned yet that in a year it could be a 10 ETH floor. It might be. I'm not opposed to that idea. But I do personally believe that Onis are a good value right now, especially seeing all the things that they're working on that they announced at their NFT LA event, which again, like, I don't know how much time we want to spend on it, but they're working with some really, really legit people to expand out a comic book series, the whole world, the IP, develop a lot of community focused utilities, things to empower the community to help grow the brand and the IP. I think it seems really positive. I like Starlordy a lot, who's the new CEO, who I've gotten to, you know, meet a couple times and like talk to, who hopefully we're going to get on the show soon. He agreed to come on, so I just need to follow up with him. But Starlordy is great, and I'm bullish, man. I've always loved Oni. I've held on to it. I've still got my two favorite Onis, including that. Yeah, well, they're not like, you know, top 100 or top. I don't even think they're top 500, but they're like top 1,000, something like that.
So usually we get Marty McFly somewhere in the middle of the episode, and he's catching up to us. Right now, he just commented, so this guy's gonna catch up. This guy's right on our tails right now, so I can't wait for that one. Don R saying one account has most of the Cash App wallets. People scam everywhere, and you have to repeat NFA. Crazy world. It is a crazy world. It is a crazy world, especially in crypto, because all we do here is money launder, fund terrorism, scam people. That's all we do here in crypto. Cam Taylor saying that's fire. Marty McFly saying still blaming Blur is like agreeing that CNN's digital blackface is a real issue. Okay. I don't necessarily want to go that route this early in the episode.
Yeah, I'm scared to open that.
I'm not sure what we're okay. NFT search terms are down over the year. This is interesting right here. So we're still in quick hits, folks. We'll get to the bag check here in a second. This is interest over time for the term NFTs. You guys have all used the Google search terms feature, I'm sure. Well, this is stating March 27th, 2022. So over the year, this is where we've fallen off to. I think if you zoom out, it probably looks even worse. Gif, what do you think this little spike is?
Donald Trump NFTs?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. Yes, actually. Yes. It literally pumped it to yearly highs. So a yearly high for the search term NFTs because of Donald Trump NFTs that are still, and we'll talk on the Polygon blockchain here in a second, still on Polygon, apparently still not dead. But you can see where we're at. That was part of the Blur conversation, though, is like what's happening with the space. There's your visualization here. Over the past year, we're at yearly lows with search term interest in NFTs.
It kind of matches the general state and sentiment of the market, right? It's just another way to visualize what we're currently existing in. And again, I feel like I say this a lot when these types of things come up, but if you're still here, man, salute anybody
what's the
that is
word
hanging
used?
out.
Clearly, we've been touching on this term. Right? We're in a collector's. We're in a trader's market, not a collector's market, but a mass extinction event. Is that the term you used this morning?
Yeah, I actually like this a lot as a new analogy for where we're at. Is the first wave of mass extinction in the NFT market. This is a mass extinction event. that for both collectors, for artists, creators, for everybody, for NFT projects, for anybody that's been in the space, that is what we are going through. And only those that evolve quickly, only the strong will survive. I think a lot of people have echoed those types of sentiments in different ways. But literally, when you think of it in terms of like a mass extinction event, it really makes sense.
Cam Taylor saying we're in a sucker's market. That's fair too. If you want to be exit liquidity for a lot of these mint projects that are having 48-hour windows for you to kind of flip or be someone's exit liquidity, that is the market that we happen to be in. I have a couple more quick hits, Gif. If you want to drop any as well that you want to hit before we get into the bag check, the NFTGO.
I wasn't ready, bro. I'm over here trying to find some quick hits.
All right, before we get to the NFTGO bag check. Thank you. We will hit on a couple other quick hits. This is from, of course, NFT Statistics coming out with the fire. We've been covering Machi. With all this blur stuff happening, we've been covering Machi. By all accounts, this man has lost a small fortune. And when I say small fortune, I mean to the tune of about $8 million. That's honestly generational wealth. Like
this is just one play. This is just one play too. Like we don't actually know.
Well, I think this. I don't know if this encapsulates just punks. I know he's out of his punk position. So again, the tweet reads: Machi got out of his punks position and has now realized 4,600 ETH in losses since the airdrop season 2 began. This man has lost generational wealth in the span of like 3 months.
Imagine all of the amazing things that he could have been doing in the space besides farming blur tokens. So again, it's like, I don't know that we want to open up the Pandora's box right now on like what blur's doing to the space, but there's just so many other things that resources, time, energy, and focus could be going towards right now. But this is where the money's going.
The man has definitely made a pretty penny, okay? And a lot of his funds have been liquidity for, projects pumping. You know what I mean? Like early on, I don't know when he started buying NFTs, but it was fairly, in the early days. His money going to those projects, I think, maybe spurred a little bit of this. So there is both sides to it. I think he's seeing the other side now where he's realizing massive losses. Again, the other part of this story, too, is Blur subsidizing some of his losses on the back end? A lot of people are tinfoil hatting that. So they're saying, okay, Blur and him have an agreement where they're kind of, paying him on the back end, not even just in Blur tokens. So clearly the Blur airdrop is not going to cover 8 milli in losses. So that's where we stand today with Machi. We'll continue to follow him, see where the volume goes. I mean, 8 mil. Like, think about the contagion there, Gif. Like, if my man is holding a lot of ape, which of course he is, like he's been a part of the ApeCoin DAO proposals. He's been like all over the ape ecosystem. Does he have to sell apes? Does he have to sell ApeCoin? Does he think about the bags this man has that he needs to now sell potentially to recoup and have himself ready?
Yeah, it's not good to think about, but it's probably important to think about, right? And that's again when the space is so small that it's basically like an oligarchy. There's like a handful of big whales that are controlling the entire marketplace. It's not a good place to be. It's the opposite of decentralization, right? It's too centralized. We're too dependent on a few people.
Marty, so Nox Darkness is saying yearly lows, time to go shopping. If you have the powder, by all means, not financial advice. This is definitely a time. Marty McFly saying, yeah, it has nothing really to do with Blur. NFTs are pretty much dead with or without Blur. And Don R saying, I like the quiet in NFT news, gives us time to build and do the great things we plan without so much FUD. I'm seeing a lot of FUD.
I don't know about all that.
We'll see about some FUD here on the show too. We'll be covering some other things. Winebags, this is a community member in Web3 as well. He's got an ongoing mint on sound.xyz, so I wanted to plug my man Winebags as well. I'm sure there's an audio component, of course, with this, but I'm linking that for you guys to check out. Gifted, what do I have on my handy dandy private chat here?
Couple things, couple tweets of the development. Speaking of people who are still building and doing amazing things, Chiptos, Cam Taylor Shout out Cam Taylor and Ahmed. Yeah, can we open up one of these and just look at the art? This is high quality 3D work right here. They're building out full bodies for all of the ChiptosX. I mean, that looks freaking insane, dude. And then look at this, the power core.
Like a little heart. Okay.
Dude, how sick is this?
Yeah, I like this.
Dude,
Is it? Are they fashioning it like a trading card, or it looks like it has an NFC chip as well, or some type of ID?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this would be cool for Cam to explain. You know, you can drop it in the chat, or again, you should come on the show, Cam. Tell us about all the awesome things y'all are doing. We'd love to have you join us, man. Because yeah, I love the quality of the 3D art. Fact that they're still developing this out, man, it looks amazing. So I just want to shout that out. Free claim for holders. Which part? The core? See, this is why we need the alpha, man.
I think it's probably in the tweet. Yeah, it's definitely there. So let me pull it up.
Yo, I gotta claim those then, because that's freaking dope.
Holders will be able to claim real soon. Check Discord for more information. Gift Dead.
Yeah.
Squash Man, we see you. Yeah. Cam Taylor saying this is a free claim. Appreciate that. Marty saying the anti-blur stuff is just a huge turnoff. Here's where I do agree with you, because there's two sides. Clearly, battle lines are being formed, but the where I definitely agree with you is that blur is exacerbating the issue. Like if blur did not exist, it wouldn't be so exaggerated. Essentially their creation is leading to floors getting wrecked because there's no organic volume on the other side. Like if blur did not exist, I don't think it would be happening. Definitely not as fast, but at all, I don't know. So I think that's the point you guys were really honing in on, was that whatever would happen to the NFT space, blur is exaggerating and catalyzing that effect.
Yeah, and also again, we don't know the full-time, the long-term impacts of all this. It's kind of like, you know, I think Andy James was the one that brought up the drug analogy. Just like the big pharma, right? They use us as guinea pigs. They just put new drugs out into the market and market them to us and try and get people, you know, addicted to using their drugs without having the benefit of decades of research on these things. Like, you don't know what these types of behaviors and, you know, incentives and what this does to the market long term. But I don't understand the anger. That's what I don't get, is like, look, I use blur now sometimes too. Why can't I use it, also farm some tokens, but also like point out that, you know, the obvious, that like this is having some negative impacts on the space. Like you can hold both thoughts. You can be also like, hey, I see the value of what Blur's doing. I understand that they can do what they're doing from an open market perspective, and there's nothing stopping them. They're exploiting weaknesses, and that's what they're doing, and that's fine. Why can't you hold that and also be critical of like how it's affecting the market? I just don't understand like why we can't have a debate. Nobody here is pure, like, at least I'm not pure one side or the other. Like, I am not pure anti-blur. I'm not pure pro-blur. I'm just very critical of what I think that it's probably doing long term. Mm-hmm. That's it. I'm trying to understand the market. That's why we talk a lot about it. It is very controversial, so it's fun for us to talk about too, right? A lot of people are talking about it because it is a big thing that is definitely impacting the market in a lot of ways right now. Yeah, I just don't know why it's such a bad thing for us to at least be critical of what it's doing. If it is so impactful, right? We should all care.
All right, the Polygon Labs unveiling zero knowledge EVM. So this was talked about. I think Polygon essentially partnered up with Immutable X, again, for zero knowledge Ethereum virtual machine layer 2. So this has been on the docket for a long time. So I'm going to read directly from the article here. Polygon Labs releases zero knowledge based rollup that is natively compatible with Ethereum. Thanks, the block. I hate your interface. It's too busy. I'm getting hit with too many ads. Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin will make the first symbolic transaction. That a transaction actually already occurred as well. Polygon zkEVM has attracted more than 50 projects from crypto, Web3, and the gaming space. So I'll go in here and look for any other like links or some good threads to talk about. But again, zero knowledge rollups are like that next iteration, right? The next iteration, along with the transaction speeds, the ability to have again that zero knowledge aspect where you can build reputation with the anonymity aspect, the security, privacy aspect. So this is essentially just the next leg up for the tech that has been being developed since Ethereum was created. To be fair, like Ethereum has gone through multiple upgrades over the last 7-8 years, and zero knowledge is the next step up in my opinion. And I'm interested in the zero knowledge aspect when it comes to the privacy. I guess like the privacy features, right? The ability to have this reputation score, but not be able to, release your identity through your wallet. That's what interests me most about this. But also, the scaling pieces are what the developers are looking for as well. You want to build on Polygon, but you want to be able to support even lower transaction fees than you see now, which are essentially way lower than Ethereum, but still sometimes a viable hurdle when it comes to trying to get people to play your game or use your app. So I'm interested, man.
Me too. I agree. I think it's really exciting to see ETH continue to build and develop, and they have a pretty solid history of success at this point, I would say, of implementing these updates and upgrades. So very exciting, I would say, for anybody interested in the Ethereum ecosystem.
So I know we have.
I had to say, dude, yeah, that fucking UI, bro, is awful. It kind of reminds me a little bit of CoinDesk. CoinDesk is not great either. Yeah, you were talking about how horrible that website design is. It's painful to look at that type of UI, man.
Well, clearly they're I don't even know if I could say they're hurting for money because it's not a lot of ads, but damn, it looks like shit. All right, I'm gonna read directly from the Polygon co-founders, Mihailo Bielhik. Someone help me out. That looks to be like some type of Baltic or some type of like Eastern European name. With zkEVM, you'll be able to deploy an Ethereum application without any modifications using existing Ethereum developer tools like Remix and interact with the network using standard wallets like MetaMask. Close to 6,000 smart contracts are deployed on the testnet without any single modification, without any problem. So let's see if we can get any. Oh, here we go. So more than 50 projects, including dApps such as Lens, Avagachi, DeFi projects such as QuickSwap, as well as Etherscan, Phantom, Midnight Society, GameSwift, and Yeehawk Games. In addition to these projects, the Uniswap Decentralized Exchange and Aave also floated governance proposals in process for joining zkEVM mainnet beta. So, that's like sneaky underrated good news for Ethereum. Like I don't think it's going to move a lot of markets just because I feel like more developer heavy, but we will see some good. Like Polygon is, to the Oniforce point that we were making earlier. Polygon's the one, in my opinion. You look back in a year, 2 years, it's going to be like so easy to call that. You bring up the business development stuff all the time, from the moves that they're making on the technical front with the launch of this as well. I mean, it's just going to look so easy 2 years from now when it's sitting at $10 or something like that. And you're like, oh, like, how do we call this? Well, there was so much being built. It didn't necessarily reflect in the short-term price action.
I cannot wait for that super cut. That's all I'm saying. I cannot wait for that super
just
cut.
It saying, like, the not financial advice, buy Polygon. Buy Polygon.
I can't wait for it. Yeah, I wanted to bring up the art blocks thing real quick if we're still doing quick hits, but other than that, that's it for me on the quick ones.
Okay, yeah. What is it? Which one am I looking at?
It's speaking of things that we've been talking about early. Kim Asendorf is going to be the next big art blocks collaborator. So new project called Cargo coming from art blocks and Kim Asendorf. And for anyone who's been listening to this show or GM Web3 over the last 8 months or so, Jiwa initially brought this artist to our attention when we started doing Tez Tuesdays. I started picking up several of their pieces. Actually, one of the last Tez pieces that I collected on one of our last Tez Tuesdays, like a month or two ago, was a Kim Asendorf It's called like reading a book. So I've got like 5 different Kim Asendorf pieces on Tez now. And we've been talking about this artist for like 8 months. So it's freaking awesome to see artists that we've been highlighting and, you know, collecting just taking that next big leap, man. Like this is a huge deal. If you're getting, you know, a big Art Blocks collaboration, you're getting platformed and promoted on all the channels like this. It's a really huge deal. So shout out Kim Asendorf. Very excited to be a collector of yours, sir. And great work. It's exciting, man.
All right, we are getting into the NFTGO
Bagcheck.
we're gonna work on this, especially. Yeah, hit it. I already see it.
Well, I mean, we have to say it at some point. It is looking like our first network sponsor, like official network sponsor, is going to be NFTGO. So it's really exciting. Yeah, I mean, look, shout out everybody that's part of this awesome community-driven platform that we're building here. It's a big deal.
Oh, J-Pop! I just, that's all I had in the bag.
That energy.
Yeah.
That's the energy that we should be seeing in the chat right now for this news. But yeah, shout out NFTGO. You know, obviously we love their product because we use their analytics platform daily for our shows. So the fact that they're going to be joining us as our first network sponsor for at least a few months, you know, is really exciting. So
love it. Shout out to NFTGO Bagcheck. We will continue to use your resource, not just because you are one of the first sponsors on the network, but thank you for helping us continue to drive forward, man. That's awesome. We're going to put those resources to good use. We'll definitely keep you guys abreast of the situation. So we'll have to buy you more chai tea, or what do you drink? Oat milk tea,
matcha. Yeah, I am actually out of matcha right now, so that's right on time. Yeah, perfect.
Congrats, Quantum Variance saying congrats. Thank you guys. Hey, listen, the reason why they see value in us is because they see value in you guys too. So that's in the way that, you know, the media side of how we want to go forward, that's where the value lies. It's not just because we sit up here and wax poetic every day. It's because of the community that we're forming as well. So love you guys. Appreciate it. We will get into the NFTGO Bagcheck in just a second. So basically the flow of the conversation today is going to go Bagcheck, y00ts moving to Polygon, Otherside second trip, Nakamigos. So that's what we have. If you guys have any other topics that you want to cover, let us know. But that is going to be the flow. We were talking about this on Web3 this morning about other projects. Like, is y00ts the biggest projects to ever bridge to another chain? For some reason, I missed out on the fact that Aavegotchi moved to Polygon like 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, Aavegotchi was sitting there on the ETH chain and bridged to Polygon. So we already see like one of the larger projects doing that. I am interested though. We have like the group mind, the hive mind here. If you guys know of any projects that have successfully bridged and maintained a community, or even if they haven't, like what was a big project that potentially hit another chain, we would like to cover it. Maybe we could even pull it up here on stream. But we are going to hit y00ts, which is set to move to Polygon today, March 27th, 2023. All right, NFTGO Bagcheck. Leave a like on the episode. It does help us get the word out about what we're doing here today. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in on a Monday to start your week. Market sentiment, I believe, is down. Like, there's no historical market sentiment, so I just have to like trust about like what my brain says this sentiment was at about 3 days ago at this point, 4 days. So I believe it was down. We were sitting like in the 30s on market sentiment last week. Obviously 30 days profits and losses. That's going to be that bear market that we keep talking about. Let's zoom into Blue Chip Index on the last 24 hours. Crabbing out there, 7 days. Crabbing out there, 30 days. I'll give it some time. And we're still a little bit down. Let's check it in USD. Down in USD as well. So ETH is dropping a little bit as we started the week. I believe it's sitting at like 1700, 1680 right now. GIF, if you got anything, let me know, man. You look like you want to say something about how bad off.
Well, just looking at all these charts really brings some visualization to this feeling of falling off a cliff that we've all been having.
Oh, you want a real fall off a cliff? Here we go. There's your chart. 1 year blue chip index, everybody. I haven't shown that in USD terms.
Kind of looks like that search history.
It does. It does kind of look like that. Funny how those things work together. Okay, Market cap
Interesting.
in volume over the last 7 days, crabbing out here over the last 3. So kind of just, moving steadily, some pops here and there. In USD terms, let's check it out. It's about the same. Let's zoom out market cap wise over the last 3 months compared to Ethereum here. So kind of got that pop in January like we talked about. Saw some initial, I don't know what that February 15th action is. A lot of volume happening on that. That might be sewer passes potentially. Maybe Dookie Dash. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I mean, sewer passes and the cores, like Yuga stuff, has been the only thing over the last like month or two that's really popped off.
Yeah. Well, CryptoPunks as well. I think Quantum Variant also answering the question. Punks kind of moved chains, wrapped punks, right? So
what were they on? That's what I want to know. Were they on Flow or something? Like what were punks on initially? Or maybe I thought they were on ETH. It was just
Classic?
like I thought it was just the contract had to be like wrapped or something.
Yeah, let's dive deep on that. Quantum, if you got the answer there, let us know. Last 7 days, wrapped CryptoPunks. Speak of the devil, 35% of volume in the industry, at least on Ethereum. Azukis, Pudgy Penguins, Doodles, Moonbirds, Clonexes, and then Nakamigos. Even over the last 7 days, it's making an appearance on the top 10.
Yeah, there's a lot of volume there, man. It's a big supply, a lot of volume. Yeah.
So top collections here: wrapped CryptoPunks again. Other deeds. Obviously, we had the other side. So Quantum's saying also it was before 721 was created. So, but I don't necessarily know if that's a chain.
Different chain. Yeah, it's not really.
That's kind of what we're looking for. Other deeds, obviously pumping with the other side. Nakamigos in at number 3 over the last 24 hours. Mutant Apes, Bored Apes, the Captains, Doodles, Moonbirds, and Ranga taking out the top 10. And
Let's go, Ranga. I missed the Ranga event here at NFTLA, but Art Snitch was telling us this morning that it was actually really, really great. So congrats to them on having an excellent event. I wish I'd made it.
Okay, yeah, I need a Ranga as well. Let's talk about this. I'm just gonna, in one bold swipe, to make sure Gifted doesn't call me out for not collecting. I'm gonna take like all of these buys. Blur is destroying OpenSea these days on volume. That's over the last 7 days. Traders still, OpenSea is taking the lead there. This is with the wash filter on. So OpenSea having more buyers, sellers, traders, but Blur is having more volume by the tune of a lot. Let's zoom out to 30 days here. So yeah, at least triple the volume here of OpenSea. Sales, again, using that metric of traders and trades as opposed to volume, OpenSea is actually doing more trades. Blur just has the volume. So
that's interesting. But yeah, it has seemed like in terms of total volume that it's been roughly 25%, 75% split. To your point, Blur doing about 3x the volume, and really the two marketplaces making up the majority of all market volume right now. So yeah, that just looks where it's at right now. But it is interesting, and I would say probably healthy that OpenSea is still maintaining more trades, more traders. So that's good.
That is good.
I guess.
It's good to see. Yeah, I think again that volume being heavily incentivized too. So maybe with the amount of traders and collectors, I feel like they should almost be highlighting that more in their marketing, talking about that, because again, Blur could be up on the volume side, but if they have more traders and more trades happening there, that should be an easy thing to sell to the public.
Yeah, I am curious to know. It would be awesome to have OpenSea like on our show again to talk about how they are navigating and like updating, like what are they doing? You know what I mean? To try and innovate and stay ahead or respond to Blur taking so much of the volume. It would be really interesting to actually know more about what OpenSea is working on right now.
They've been extremely reactive on everything they've done up to this point. I mean, other than I would say maybe in the last 8 months. Like I can't, my brain doesn't go past that point, I think, in this space. But other than that, the last 8 months have been extremely reactive when it comes to royalties. They got schooled on that as well. They launched the Seaport protocol. as a shady way to say, hey, we're about the creators, but also we're just trying to force people to use our protocol. And then they got screwed by Blur there. So yeah, they've been very reactive on that. They've also had problems with some of even our own community members' drops on that platform. So a lot of stuff happening with OpenSea. We'll continue to monitor that. But we have gotten to our main topic on today's episode. That's going to be y00ts moving to Polygon. So I have like an existential conversation I want to have, like a more like macro level conversation about like will we see more of this? Is this like, are these outliers, or are we actually going to see projects moving from chain to chain in that interoperable kind of world as we go forward? So I think that's an interesting conversation, but they do have a visual that I'm also interested in here. But we can go into the tweet before I play that visual. Gift, do you have any takes before we get to the y00ts actual announcement here?
Well, I was going to respond to the question of like, is this an outlier? Do we think that this type of move is going to become more common? I'm sure you'll see some of this happening more, but really the technology needs to get much easier to actually enable this type of thing. So if like, let's say Polygon is using this opportunity of supporting this massive move to create some rails, to create like some additional infrastructure development that makes it extremely easy for a Solana project to move over to Polygon, that would probably be a smart thing, right? Because then it becomes much easier for them to onboard more Solana projects. I don't think right now it's very easy to do this type of move at all. Not even just like from the technical side of things, from the marketing and communication side of it, like the PR side, trying to like incentivize people to take actions of, because like they've got to get all of their collectors to take an action now to go like move their stuff. That's why they're incentivizing it within like the first month. Yeah, there's a bunch of different incentives. It's like, this is not an easy feat, right? So I think this is absolutely an outlier. And I think one of the things that I would ask about this is like, if Polygon was not paying them $3 million in grants, would they be doing this? Probably not. That's my thought. I could be wrong, but I think unless they were being heavily incentivized by Polygon with a massive grant,
yeah,
I would be surprised if they were even going to try and undertake this type of move.
Yeah, I want to find a Dune dashboard here for y00ts as well, because obviously, again, being on Solana, we don't see that price action on like something like NFTGO that we use all the time. So I'm going to try to use, I guess I could go to Magic Eden as well. That would probably be good. But let me get into that GIF if you can give me some time. Let's see.
I can vamp about Don R over here giving us some awesome comments.
Yeah, hit it.
Don R saying, I asked this show several times if the bear was over. Sentiment was strongly no. I got safe, except for, of course, Polygon call to 100. I thank you all for the not financial advice. Listen to this show. Appreciate you, Don R. And yeah, definitely one of the most active community members that we have, both here and on Twitter. So we appreciate everything that you do, sir. Glad to hear that, we weren't wrong about that call about the bear market not being over here, especially through January when things were starting to heat up a little bit.
So yeah, appreciate you, Don R. 100%. I echo those sentiments and takes. This is interesting. Magic Eden has a like almost trading view-esque look at their chart. So let's see if we can zoom in here. It's kind of like, I think there's a couple filters on here that don't show, but you can kind of see like this is on a daily. So this is the daily chart here for activity and the price of DeGods. You can see literally over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So about a week and a half, we see almost an all-time high. Like not truly. I think we've got
that's y00ts, not DeGods though.
Yeah, true. It's on y00ts. I'm sorry, that's what's moving. DeGods is also moving to Ethereum, which is another discussion. But okay, so we had a high of, I think on the daily, a high of like 191 Solana. Again, you have to factor in what Solana price was at this time, but you could see it was like it was significantly down from at least that all-time high in January to start the year. And then we saw that depth here, and then it has risen since this announcement, right? So as in terms of like interest and people speculating on the move, it has definitely seen a significant increase to the tune of 100. So it was at 112, moved all the way up to 165. So I don't know what that is in Solana in USD as it relates to Solana price, but that's what, like a
The floor
40%
was
increase.
floor was just above 2,500 USD when I checked it earlier this morning.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think it's probably at least doubled from where it was. Yeah, this would have been a great play. I actually was thinking about it and like looking a little bit, but I haven't really been fucking with Solana. I don't have anything in Solana, and I don't know. I kind of just slept on it harder than I probably should have. But to anybody who's been playing this, it's probably at least we know there's a lot of volatility and there's some opportunity there. It will be very interesting to see how the transfer actually goes, right? Like, what percentage of people will burn or take the steps that they need to move their utes within a reasonable amount of time?
That's the combo.
Will some of them get left behind and be gone forever? Are some of them effectively burned in this move? I don't know. It'll be really interesting to see. And then what does all of that do? Is it deflationary to an extent because like 10% or 20% get left behind and are just never moved or something? What does that do to the price? Does that hurt the collection or make them more valuable because it's deflationary? Do people like the Polygon experience better than Solana? Does the actual interface and support and infrastructure and the experience of being on Polygon improve the collection overall, or does that actually become a detractor because people actually like the experience on Solana and with the wallet? You know what I mean? Like
it's all questions that we now get to experience, right? Like that's one of the cool things about Yuga is that they're getting shit here and there and FUD thrown at them, but they're trying stuff, so we actually get to see the result of an experiment. Also to note, DeGods is moving to Ethereum, so that's another planned move of the same ecosystem, right? So DeGods and Utes obviously fall under the same banner, and you have them, instead of moving DeGods to Polygon, they're saying, oh, we're actually going to move DeGods to Ethereum, which I think might be the right move if they're looking at DeGods as like the higher value NFT. That's what you see on Ethereum, is those are being purchased. Quantum Variant saying, didn't Polygon go down this week? Oh God. I did not see that. We can try to find that news here. I have the technical breakdown by Wormhole. So the announcement again is that Utes, a project that has primarily and for its entire existence lived on Solana, they made the announcement that they're going to move to Polygon about 5 months ago at this point, in the midst of Solana dealing with all the FTX issues, and then Polygon also paid them $3 million. So now we're getting actually the technical look at how this is going to happen. They're using Wormhole Crypto. I actually want to watch this because, again, we were talking about the visualization and how my mind was kind of conceptualizing when these moves happen. Well, they actually have a great video. I haven't watched it with the volume on here, so I'm excited. But here, let's see if we can watch this with audio.
Let's do it.
All right, so on this, first of all, what do you think of the video and the visualization? Because again, I love the concept of like viewing these, not like they're ones and zeros and all this stuff, but actually like visualizing a move to a chain. They used literally the train analogy of like both of them splitting off and going on different rails to those chains.
Yeah, I wonder if they kind of stole this one from TX Street. But no, you were talking about the Bitcoin ordinals, Utes, like going on their own separate journey. So yeah, it's metaphorically working And that, hey,
So
that quality, that video, that nifty looking visualization, that's what $3 million gets you right there. Because you know what? I think they must have gotten freaking flamed. Like, I know we were joking about how bad the announcement was. The Dear Solana
Dear
community,
Solana, yes.
dude.
Let's talk about it.
The iMovie quality of that announcement was it wasn't good. It wasn't very good, right? And so I think they must have taken that note with something like this and said, "Hey, this is important. Let's not do some shitty iMovie stuff. Let's do a legit high quality video." Because yeah, it looked good, looked pretty cool.
Congrats
and
on
I think
that.
it communicated what was going on effectively with the metaphor.
And I always have the question of like, what's under the hood, right? Of what's happening here with it. Are the NFTs being burned? Are they staying on one chain and just being, symbolized on another? Like, how does that all work? So we're about to get into a little bit of answers on that front. We have some really hardcore, just like vets at this point, Gifted, that are just like, they're bear proof. Prodigy saying our first bear in NFTs. We're learning. Don R saying I still believe in NFTs because the innovative tech and what it enables. The market makes people see things through turd-colored glasses. That's sentiment, not truth. So I want to see if Polygon went down though. That's I need to see if that's.
I searched
case.
briefly and I couldn't find anything, but that would be really ironic if that happened.
So we got the final answer here. Here is Wormhole Crypto saying, under the hood, when an NFT is transferred out of its original chain, this is what happens. The NFT gets burned via the Wormhole NFT bridging smart contract. An equivalent native NFT is minted into the collection on the destination chain. So honestly, not that complicated of a situation. If they're simply burning the NFT on one chain and recreating
Minting
it on the new one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure like the actual code to make all this stuff happen seamlessly is way more complicated, but the way that they're explaining it very, very simply is great, right? I think this is what we need more of, like clear communication around what's going on. So yeah, that was well articulated, right? It was yeah.
So
I like it.
So here I'm going to drop these links as well because there was a good, simple explainer from somebody on Twitter explaining what's going on here. So on March 27th, the migration to 0x Polygon will begin. You'll be able to migrate directly from our official website. You'll probably want to migrate within the first 24 hours. There are benefits to being early. To Gifted's point, they're like heavily incentivizing this move. So this is from the y00ts Twitter profile. You'll be rewarded by migrating within the first 24 hours. Gas fees completely free. Staking will be free. $5 USDC. My God, breaking the bank. Love to see it. For 30 days, buy, sell y00ts on Magic Eden Polygon with 0% trading fees. And one more surprise. We're airdropping a BTC to God to one y00ts on Polygon in the first 24 hours. A snapshot of y00ts on Polygon will be taken. The winning y00ts will be randomly selected, and the ID number will be announced on Discord. Obviously, on BTC, that needs to like be OTC. It needs to be handled OTC and stuff like that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm curious. Again, this is like one of those exciting experiments. First of all, to your point about the gods is also moving to Ethereum. I'm guessing that is happening at a later point, right? Because right now we're focused on y00ts. Mm-hmm. So this will be great to like understand how this plays out because it'll probably have a lot of learnings and insights for how the gods move will work out, right? So if you're trying to play this and looking for the opportunities, definitely watching how this goes and then trying to play the Ethereum move with the gods could be a smart strategy here. I'm very curious, as this unfolds to see, are there any sort of like crazy purists who just hold on to the original Solana y00ts?
Yes,
think that
great question.
They think they're going to go up in price because they're just like, you know what? There's only going to be 10% or less that don't move it over to Polygon, and we are the originals. They're going to be like the wrapped, like the original CryptoPunks that everybody thinks are like, well, that was the first gen, so they have value. They're not worth nearly as much as the CryptoPunks, the full collection, the second collection. But who knows? I'm very interested to see what kind of dynamics this introduces.
So I'm glad you brought up to Gods. We did throw up that announcement that they're going to be releasing an announcement here. So an announcement of an announcement about their move to Ethereum in the next coming days. But as you can see, this is to Gods. So the Gods is experiencing an even bigger gain, I think. This is up 2x.
Yeah.
So this is December 19th is where you see this cursor sitting around 370 Sol. Today it sits at about double. So at about 690. So this is around that same time that they were talking about migrating. At the time, did they talk about migrating to Gods as well? Or was it just y00ts and maybe that was just speculation?
I don't really remember us talking much about the gods at the time. So I feel like at some point this must have happened. You know what I mean? And maybe, yeah, it was kind of like slid in there.
Just sliding in. Hey, by the way,
sliding in like a DM.
Prodigy saying, I wonder if all these market branchings and switching, does that fuck up your taxes at the end of the year if you've done a lot? Yes. That was a meme that was being thrown around. Great point there, Prodigy. Like moving chains. So like burning an NFT. Like these are the questions your CPA is going to be like, what
and you're going to look back and be like, you tell me.
So yes, that is going to be a problem. You can always, this is not financial advice, but you can always push that till October. See what happens. See what happens to yourself. All right, I had one more announcement that was kind of simplifying this. Let me get to it. But any last thoughts here on y00ts moving to Polygon? Was that what you thought happened on the bridge? Like, was that what you expected to happen?
Yeah, because we've seen other situations where people had to like burn and recreate something. So I didn't think it would be like anything crazy. But like again, I don't know fully, what the tech actually does, to make this a seamless thing happen. But yeah, the concept of like, hey, you're gonna burn this one over here and we're gonna pop out a new one over on this chain, like that seems pretty straightforward.
There's a 30% paper hands bridge tax. I'm guessing there's a tax, but what are they taxing here? I want to discuss. I don't want to get too far in the weeds here, but paper hands bridge tax. It looks like they're basically disincentivizing lazy holders that are taking forever to move.
There you go. So it's probably on the Magic Eden fees side or on the collection fees side, because they've done this before. This is not their first rodeo when it comes to using different fee structures to incentivize and manipulate, manipulate their community into certain behaviors. Early on, one of the early kind of, I guess, quote unquote innovations that they had was a paper hands tax, where they were like having higher fees for people that sold too early or within a certain amount of time or something. I don't remember exactly how that worked, but like, yeah, the gods and the y00ts have been playing around with switching up their fees to try and incentivize different behaviors since the jump. So that doesn't surprise me. I'm guessing that what they're doing is they're putting higher fees on the OG Solana collection at a certain point and saying, hey, if you don't move it over here, like that's fine.
The marketplace, but the marketplace's prerogative, isn't it? Not theirs.
Well, no, I think they're closely partnered with Magic Eden. They have a lot of control over their fees at this point. That's why you see like Magic Eden is saying, hey, no marketplace fees during the first month. They're very much invested in y00ts and the gods staying in their ecosystem as much as they can.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do you remember when y00ts and the gods front ran the zero creator fees? Do you remember that?
Yes. Yeah, they're intimately entwined here.
And I was saying at the time, like, dude, this is one of the biggest scandals that, like, when marketplaces are colluding with projects to give them advantages, like, but nobody cared. Nobody gave a shit.
Because if that was on Ethereum, everybody would care. I'm telling you, you can get away with that shit on smaller chains. It's that fair. Sarah Script is in the house saying, not texting me back is a taxable event. GIF, are you not texting Sarah Script back? What's up? What are we getting here?
If I did, then I'm very sorry.
You're getting taxed hard.
because Sarah's one of my favorite people. I feel like I'm pretty good at responding.
Donar is saying that's a potential tax event, question mark, when it comes to bridging. And yes, it is. That's a new asset. That is a potential tax event. Okay, but it's not a potential tax event if you don't pay your taxes. You know what I mean?
Not financial advice. Financial advice.
All right, so
Jesus.
Crypto Slam is over the last 30 days. This is a pretty cool look. So the top NFT collectible sales, and this is across pretty much the entire ecosystem, right? Because Crypto Slam takes into account Solana, Polygon, Immutable X, Flow, even Cardano, Wax NFTs, even making an appearance here. So over the last 30 days, Sewer Pass going for 1.6 milli. Looks like they paid their fee too. Good Lord. Oh my God. I don't even want to think about what is that in creator fees?
If it's 10%, it's 160,000. If it's 5%, then it's 80,000.
Nice. So a small house for your creator fee there. Good job on that one, guys. All right, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Fidenzas. Okay, the
You
reason
just created all that value though. Like 1.6 mil was just made out of a game. So just saying, the other side of that token.
There you go. Yeah, the other side of that token. I like that. Okay, I brought this up to look at where we stand on Polygon and Solana, right? So over the last 30 days, Solana is in the top 10 when it comes. So DeGod's at 14.2 million. This is factored, I believe, by sales and sale volume. So DeGod's there, y00ts are there. Where do we see the first Polygon? Coin electables.
One thing that I was gonna share that I'm proud of, that I want to pull up here.
Are you just derailing my segment here? Is this what's happening?
Well, it's relevant to Polygon and apparently collections that have moved. There you go. I now officially have 3 gotchis. I have a whole gang of gotchis, and they're all vaulted up. There you go, 3 in the vault, and I'm actively looking to get my 4th. So I am a late adopter. I only got my first gotchi a couple weeks ago, or a month ago or so, and I'm adding to my gang of gotchis over here. I'm very proud.
Look at you, proud gotchi papa.
Yes, sir.
Very nice. Like to see you in the ecosystem. The first collection to bridge from Ethereum to Polygon. All right. Sarah Script is saying, I'm just kidding, Gifted, and also saying, but not about the Babel hypothesis. The most talkative are deemed the smartest, which is not true. Okay, I'm the dumbest person in NFTs, I think. Here we go. So Prodigy is saying, smash the likes, peeps. Nox Arkin is saying, 100% agree. So we appreciate you guys here in the middle of the episode giving us some support. All right, so again, Claynosaurs on Solana, Oogie. I mean, it's just not there.
What, Polygon? What are we looking for?
Yeah, Polygon's not even. I mean, the biggest project on Polygon over the last 30 days is Coin Electables. So, I mean, they instantly become the biggest project on Polygon. We've talked about the benefits of that. So, I think it's a good move. Overall, good luck.
Only time will tell.
Train ride.
It's definitely an exciting ride to watch, and we'll be paying attention, covering it all here on NFT Live and on the Web3 network.
Okay. Hey, we got 2 more stories to cover. Unless you guys want to throw out something for us to pull up here while we're live, we can always do that as well. We have the Otherside second trip, so this is turning into quickly a Yuga Lab show. Gifted actually participated in the second trip. I unfortunately, wasn't able. I have to grind my teeth here. I was not able to participate in the second trip. There were some actually benefit, NFT benefits, some tangible benefit to participating other than taking in the experience this time. The winner's got a helmet. I think you also get an obelisk GIF. So don't forget that.
I hope I get something, because Team Crimson, shout out Team Crimson and Bryson, our team leader. We came this close. We were catching up so fast right at the end of the second round, collecting all these blobs. We were about to catch the team Glacia, I think were the winners. We were so close. And if there was another round, y'all already know we would have taken this thing, gotten those helmets. So Sad that we did not take the dub on this one, but we came this close, and we should have had it. And next time we got them.
So I want to get to the details here. By the way, we did have another announcement come this morning here from Otherside, and says, "In a place where worlds collide, we appear." Gucci. So Gucci, and this is from Gucci's website as well, or Gucci's profile. Let's go. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I'll find it. This is from Gucci. Continue to explore the metaverse. The house comes together with Yuga Labs. Stay tuned as a new narrative takes shape, blurring the boundaries between physical and digital, also known as
digital
physical. Good job, Gucci. You guys are killing it. Killing it.
No.
Squashman's here saying Champ Medici was a terrible hype man and leader. I heard he got a lot of FUD. My man Champ, Snoop's son.
Well, look, I will give him a little bit more credit. I will balance out the FUD and the negativity on his other side leadership with his NFT LA party. His event was great. I went to that because NFTGO invited me, and it was awesome. So Champ Medici throws great parties. Maybe not the best metaverse gamer leader.
Yeah.
But great party. So I'm just getting, let's give him some credit where it's due.
Okay, for all intents and purposes, it seems to have gone off without a hitch. Like that's what I don't want to see is this trip go off and everybody can't log in, or it's like ridiculously terrible, looks the same as last time, quote unquote. It feels like people had a good time. It didn't, completely crash. So I'll answer this right off the bat, Gift Ed. Good or bad when it comes to, maybe let's do a 1 out of 10. The Otherside trip, your experience there on the second trip, 1 out of 10.
No, not 1 out of 10. You mean, what was it? Out of 10?
Yeah. Is it? Well, you need to tell me 1 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10? Okay.
Yeah, because I think it accomplished the majority of their goals. I think is there room for improvement to make it even cooler? Of course. Again, like they could have had a bigger sort of payoff with the dragon at the end instead of just this like cinematic teaser of like, holy shit, look at the creatures in this world and like where we're taking this and the scale of these different, activations, that was freaking cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was cool, but like, I think it felt like it was kind of cut short there and people were expecting to do something with the dragon. Also, like the gameplay was pretty straightforward. It was just collecting blobs, you know what I mean? So it was like taking you through the environment in 2 different places, running around using some of the power-ups to help you get different types of blobs, and then, take them to the frogs, the toads. So like the gameplay could have been a little bit more sophisticated or have a couple more mechanics introduced. And then they could have maybe taken the last, big moment to another more interactive place. So there's places to improve, but overall, I think it was great. I was running it on a freaking laptop and had no issues. You know what I mean? It accomplished, I think, the majority of their goals, which was, this was a demo to show some new mechanics, some new parts of the world, and introduce non-playable characters and like animals that you get to interact with, and team battles. They were able to bring in team leaders and team battles seamlessly and make that feel fun and engaging. So like, I don't know what people are expecting, man. Like I saw some of the FUD that people were saying, and I just disagree. I feel like that people just be trolling, or their expectations are out of whack because they've never developed a game. This is a giant game demo that they're doing in real time. Most video game publishers that are developing these types of games do not do this shit publicly. They do game demos where they bring in a bunch of gamers and influencers in the back end. I've actually literally run these projects. I've run these projects for Ubisoft and Electronic Arts. They do not do this shit publicly because they're testing out this shit. And usually there's a ton of bugs in it and like issues. So the fact that this is going as well as it is, that the gameplay experience is as smooth as it is for the vast majority of people, and it's showing all these different cool mechanics and parts of the world that they are actively developing out. I just think like the people that are funding this shit literally just have no context for like how difficult it is, what's actually happening from like the development standpoint of like how incredibly rare this is. Like, I don't think any gaming company that I know of, right? I'm sure maybe somebody's done something, but like, can you give me an example of a massive MMORPG metaverse game on this scale where you've got like 7,200 people all playing together, where they're doing live product demos like this? Like, please show me one. Like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of over the FUD and the haters out there. I think overall it was
People
really
are
successful.
Yeah, you guys an easy target. Let's be honest. Like if you put
Everything's
yourself
an
in
easy target, man. Everybody's targeting everything all the fucking time.
But you guys in the headlines. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna see, just like we had that conversation a couple weeks ago. You put yourself out there, especially at the scale that you guys, you got to be ready to deal with that. Especially from like even traditional gamers, we're just so toxic about what we expect from games, and the gaming just industry has not done well with releasing new games. Let's be honest. There aren't like we're League of Legends, a game that was put out fucking 13 years ago almost, is one of the most popular games in the world. Like, where are the new ones? So, Prodigy saying, keep Yuga's name out yo fuck mouth. Love that. Love that shout out. We need that like as a clip.
Yeah, he's quoting Will Smith.
Yeah.
And I see what you did there, Prodigy. But also Nox Darkness. See, Nox is more on the side where I come from. It's like he's saying, I'm not even a gamer, but I'm not even a gamer at all, but love seeing the Yuga progression. It's really cool to watch. I agree. Like, I think the way that they're showing this progress in real time, publicly demoing this, and if you actually like show like what are the new things they're introducing, the new mechanics, the new parts of the world, the new characters, like they are developing a lot and then showing it in these big demos. I think it's really cool to see this happening. And I think that we'll look back, hopefully, knock on wood and all that type of stuff. I think we're going to look back on this, a couple years from now and just be like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like, look what they did. Yeah. Look how they brought us along on this journey. Think about the loyalty and like how involved their hardcore community is going to be when this thing finally launches. If they can successfully continue this strategy of like the live demos, bringing people further into the story, teasing out parts, getting you into these awesome experiences before anybody else, think about what that does from a participant collector POV.
Yeah, I am interested in like the long-term timeline here of the game though. Right, because they can do this. The last second trip was when? Last summer. Like they can continue to do these other side trips, but for how long until people are like, okay, when do I get like more playable experiences? That's not like a 1 hour window every 6 months. So that's we're having an open discussion here. Also, I want to show this off because Squashman was saying, did you see that the Gucci logo was actually the other side, like Coda language, essentially, that we saw from the Legends of Mara poster? You can see like Gucci there is, instead of it being you, it's that Legends of Mara language, that Coda language. So interesting stuff there. Nothing has been put out. It says, stay tuned as a new narrative takes shape, blurring the boundaries between physical and digital. Quantum Variant is saying it feels a lot like the way Huxley is building too. I agree with that. I think, I don't think Huxley has the ability to pull in 6,000, but I completely agree with the concept of like how he's building in the open. You see like releases and tech demos and all this stuff of the world that he's creating. I would agree with that. And there's like already a standard collection level where people can participate and actually like buy an asset so they can be incentivized to take part. I love that.
The one thing that I can't even find them now. Oh, here we go. I can't even find the original Gucci board, like, because I've brought it up several times on this. The original Gucci Bored Ape collaboration where they basically just like slapped some pretty ugly, additional things on top of the Bored Apes and sold them for a really, really high price.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'll just say, like, first of all, if anybody can help me find that original collab and we can link it and pull up some of them, I'd love to look at them.
Here wasn't Gucci. Who was involved in the Curtis collection? Like, was that Super Plastic? The Curtis.
I think that was
models?
Super Plastic. Yeah,
Dude,
those are pretty cool.
Dude, the biggest winner from the other side was Curtis. Curtis is going to be like this very big IP character in Otherside. I mean, if you watch this trailer, like, you can see the emphasis they're putting on Curtis.
Buckle up, Voyagers.
And he
Curtis, to let you know we're going back.
So he took you guys through on the second trip. He took us through on the first trip. He's this like gigantic character that is essentially your guide. But you can see it. Curtis is starting to make more and more appearances on the voice side, on the video side. I think Curtis is going to be like, and those Super Plastic original Curtises, I think are going to be worth a lot of money one day.
Back to Otherside for second trip. Remember first trip? That shit was wild, man. Thousands of you joined me in Blue and Otherside, and together we made gaming history. Oh yeah, and we took down that massive Coda as a team. But a lot's changed in Otherside since then, so get ready, Voyagers, because second trip is happening on March 25th. Here's just a taste of what's to come.
So that part in general, it just feels like Curtis is going to be this like huge Mickey Mouse-esque figure within Yuga.
Yeah, and that comes with different sorts of like risks and opportunities as well. You know, one of the pieces of FUD that I heard that, like, you know, like, I kind of see where I was coming from with people were like, oh, Curtis was really cringe like early on, but then he got better. And like, what? It's like, you have a live actor who's literally doing this shit. You know what I mean? And so, like, yeah, sometimes it's going to be a little bit awkward. But it's also, again, I find it interesting and cool that you literally have this giant, you know, monkey character, this giant Curtis character who's a live character with you on the trip, guiding you, throwing out random jokes. Some of them aren't great. Some of them don't hit that well, but it's really interesting, man. And it's not like anything that I've done before. Like when you play a cinematic video game and you go through those different like guide phases or the onboarding, those aren't live characters. They're not there with you. You know what I mean? They're not actually interacting with you live. It's all pre-recorded, right? It's just different, man. It's a whole new world.
It's a whole new. Okay. Listen, I don't want to go like full Yuga stan here, but in a time where, again, and we talked about this on the GM13 morning show, like in a time where all of these projects seem to be, you know, trimming some fat, redefining their focus, trying to find utility, trying to find revenue. The golden North Star for the people that have been in this space as gamers has been when gaming goes mainstream with NFT or Web3 assets. That has always been the case because it's so easily like added into that environment. They're already digital assets. If you can somehow find the technical side to make it easily adopted, people are already interacting with these digital assets at scale. They're paying for them. They're doing all these things. So Yuga feels like, again, you know, I'm not stepping out on a ledge here by saying, you know, they're probably the most popular Web3 game at this point. It's not even out. Like, but that happens to a lot of things. You know, Illuvium's still in beta. We got maybe Dead Drop, maybe Dr. Disrespect's Dead Drop with the ticket passes. That's another one, but I feels like we're right on that cusp. But again, to start the episode this morning, we were like, hey, it feels dope to see this second trip, but it still feels so far away. You know, I don't want to get my hopes up because I'll be sitting here for literally another year, I think, before we see any type of playable Otherside.
It might be. I mean, but I will say this, you know, again, I don't want to get my hopes up too high either. But the experience and the state of what I saw, I feel like is not that far from having at least some kind of public, you know, demo. You know what I mean? If you've got different types of game mechanics, team mechanics, invite mechanics, interactive, non-playable characters, different parts of the world that you can go and explore, like it's got to be not that far off from at least having some kind of like introductory playable demo, like a beta of some kind. So I agree. I don't want to get hopes up and like speculate that it's coming soon, but I wouldn't be surprised if within the next year, there's some kind of beta.
Squashman just brought some alfalfa here, some strong alfalfa, at least for 10K TF. According to a report from Business of Fashion, Gucci and Yuga Labs have signed a multi-year partnership to collaborate with Yuga Labs' Otherside Metaverse and its 10K TF collection, with a goal of exploring joint opportunities between Web3 fashion and entertainment. Have you seen the 10K TF collections? Do you know what those are?
Yeah, well, there was a bunch of people at the Oni Force party at NFTLA actually wearing their Oni Force 10K TF physical hoodies. But I haven't, other than that, like seen them. They don't like. I'm not gonna lie. Like the designs are interesting, but the quality doesn't look that good of the actual physicals. I didn't really look at it that closely. I just saw some people wearing them. They just kind of looked okay to me. But the designs are cool. But I was going to add in one other thing. Like we talked about this originally. So Gucci was the first major brand to accept ApeCoin payments. Also, that was back in August of 2022. Mm-hmm. So like, I guess I'm not surprised. And I kind of thought Gucci already had like a partnership with them of some kind. Maybe they're just like making it official or extending it or making it a more serious one with this new collaboration. So
yeah, we will. I remember spending, like especially on the ApeCoin drop. I think they had like a couple merch deals. Like I look back and I'm just like, why are you spending that much? That was like right around the drop, which they timed perfectly. If you want to drop merch, drop it right around the time you do like some type of airdrop or some type of value creation amongst your community, because everyone was doing that. This is what I'm looking at. This is 10K TF stock room. This fits well for Gucci. It's all merchandise. It's all different like materials. This is all just merch related, man. It's all apparel related.
Yeah.
That's huge.
It's really smart, man. You see, it's all starting to come together. They've got big plans and big visions, man. Like we've always known that. We've been talking about that for a while. Shout out Squashman, who went to the Scapes event and got to actually hang out with Chief Chungo and see him skate. That's pretty cool. Chief flew out to our Web3 Denver event, so we got to hang out with him there. So you know what? Shout out Chief Chungo. Pretty awesome that you got to hang out with him too, and that he is also a legit skater. So pretty dope.
Stockroom NFT or Stockroom on the 10K TF collection has done a 2x since late January.
There you go.
It's not even. Yeah, that's a complexity chasm project right there. For sure. Like, well, maybe one of the quintessential complexity chasm projects.
We should get Keegan to come on. So I have some friends like Keegan and Valerie who are, I think, run like regular 10K TF rooms. We should. I'll reach out to them, see if we can get them on to come and do a deep dive explainer on 10K TF.
Okay, folks, we are here sitting probably at the back half of the episode, but we appreciate you guys always. Those that have tuned in just now or throughout the whole episode, y'all are killing it. Mason McFly saying Snoop as a host for the other side would be lit.
Definitely couldn't be
better than his son.
Yeah. Also, Mason McFly. Any relation to a certain Marty McFly here? What's going on?
Oh man,
what's going on here?
He's a second cousin on his mom's side. Asmodai saying Artifact community can't wait. Some making a game in Fortnite. Unreal creation for Fortnite. Quantum Variant saying we need an ApeCoin pump. And Squashman saying new announcement from Ledger Ape about an hour ago. Next Ledger quest is for ApeCoin holders can earn an NFT and claim a custom ApeCoin Nano. Okay, Squash.
That's pretty sick.
Okay, Squash.
Squashman you coming through with all the big updates. Here we go.
You have my attention. Where's the Leo meme? Here it is. He's not lying. So we got a get ready for ApeCoin. Okay. So first of all, didn't even know Ledger Quest started. I'm assuming it's their Coinbase Earn initiative where they're like, teaching people about different coins, and that's the quest you have to go on. So shout out to them for having this Ledger Quest initiative. This says GM Ape Fam, we're excited to announce that ApeCoin is our next Ledger Quest partner. Soon we'll be dropping an exclusive Ledger Quest for Ape holders that will allow you to up your Web3 security game, earn a proof of, what do you think that is? POK. Proof of knowledge? Earn a proof of knowledge NFT and claim a custom ApeCoin Nano. Well, this is amazing.
It's, it also reminds me of Starbucks Odyssey. It reminds me of some kind of rewards and loyalty program that they've got going on. And I am impressed, I think, with Ledger as a hardware company, with their community vision, activations, collaborations. If Ledger was a public company, or if I felt like there was a better way, like a simple way for me to be investing in Ledger, I'd be buying. Not financial advice, but I'm pretty bullish on Ledger as a company.
Yeah, I will go out on a limb and say Ledger's done a much better job than MetaMask, but the Ledger Stacks is a great move toward something more legitimate for wallet security in the space. Forever it was just that brick. It was literally just a brick since I've gotten into the space. So I'm glad that the Ledger Stacks is taking it to the next level. Scapes event was wild. So cool to meet skaters from different communities: apes, mutants, chungos, sappy seals, degen tunes, jaritos, artifact, happy dad peeps, and one of my fave events. Don R saying Amazon has been pushing ahead with their NFT integration and will soon launch an NFT gallery. Look, if there wasn't all of this macro FUD that's happening in the space that affects us, it's shaping up to be a pretty cool summer. I mean, I know we're dealing with we saw the blue chip index that looks very bad, but I mean, there's a lot of cool shit happening here that's setting up for a cool summer. Don't store your ape on a Ledger brand ape, please. Ledger partnering with different communities. Also announced a cool. You guys are killing it in the chat today. Thank you.
1000%. Undefeated, this chat over here. Yeah, I agree. Look, the real companies doing the real development, creating the cool tech and the really dope projects haven't stopped. And there's moments when a lot of that stuff starts to come out. I think this summer will be big. I think, there's a lot to still look forward to, man. I do feel the pain, the hurt, where we're at right now in the space. Again, it's not easy for any of us. Like, I'm definitely actively like, when yeah, do I need to go out and get another job to try and make ends meet right now? Like flipping ain't it right now. You know what I mean? Like NFTs are not it right now for a lot of people, but there's a lot of optimistic, positive things happening. So I do look forward to the time, hopefully not too long from now when we get to look back and be like, hey, you remember that shitty first mass extinction event? You remember living through the first NFT winter when we just huddled together to keep each other warm? We just sat there with our bags of JPEGs as they burned. Yeah, to keep us warm, just burning them at the fire of Blur, just to try and keep us warm. The unfortunate thing is there's a lot more to this than just Blur or NFTs. There's the macro economics of it. There's, the banking system. There's wars. There's so much that actually impacts the market that nobody can control or predict, right? So, yeah. To those that are still here and finding ways to make it, we salute you. To those who are not making it right now, we feel you. And we're here with you. You know what I mean? You're not alone. You're not alone. I can say that at least. I know that doesn't always help the situation immediately, but yeah, man. I look forward to when things aren't this difficult, but we don't know when that'll be. And in the meantime, we're going to keep doing whatever we can do.
Absolutely. Sarah Script is saying we need a ledger that says badass MFer on it. I could agree with that. I'd probably rock one of those. Don R saying Ethereum is going to get fast and inexpensive this summer and multiply the advantages of all emerging layer twos. Lots going on. That's a fair statement. I want to wrap up the other deed stuff, and then right before we get out of here, we want to touch on Nakamigos. Other deeds, the volume of the last 24 hours up 145%, sales up almost 200%.
All right.
Again, that's over the last 24. This is a tough one because you see here, there's 100,000 of these. That's going to be, I know that the demand is going to be pretty strong for the project based on, all the things that we've just talked on. But when you see this type of volume and then you don't see a floor price increase, we're actually seeing a decrease, it looks like, in the last 7 days. So a lot of trading going on, a lot of interest there, speculation potentially. But yeah, we're sitting here on other deeds. ApeCoin as well, we've covered multiple times, so we'd love to see a little pump on ApeCoin. Where are you at? Where are you at, Ape? Sitting at 390 here. We just kind of dropped off on Ethereum and Bitcoin. So this little drop past $4 was due to that. We'll see if that gets over $4. So I don't. I've been speculating. We obviously hold a good amount of Ape. This is my biggest speculation play, right? Because I haven't sold any of the Ape from staking. I'm just like literally restaking all this stuff. And this is my biggest speculation play, right? Like at the end of the day, you're really, really when you're this deep into it, you're like, damn, I'm expecting this to go well, and other side is going, pretty well, but there are all these other elements. Yeah, staking. I'm just, first of all, we didn't see any immediate price action. Maybe we saw like a 20, 30 cent swing on the day of the other side launch. Like I think it got up to like 450, but it doesn't feel like the sentiment, kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Shit, I lost it. Kind of depegged us from the overall market, right? We didn't see like, oh my God, the other side's launching. Look, there's 7,000 people here. ApeCoin is, $5 or anything like that. We didn't see any pump like that. It's just interesting to watch this because it feels like there's a lot of really good things happening, but the price isn't moving. But a lot of times that's how it is. It's a lot of nothing and then all at once. So I'm interested though. Would you be buying, like if you had no exposure, would you be buying ApeCoin at $4? Not financial.
If I had enough liquidity to be, speculating on more coins, then absolutely. ApeCoin is in my top. I mean, really like top 3 or 4, like easily my top 5, but like maybe even top 3 or 4. As far as like coins that I am very bullish on that I think are actually providing a really unique utility, have a dope, strong community, like are showing what they're capable of, are attached to one of the most valuable projects and IPs I was almost going to say world, but in the world of NFTs and Web3 at least. I mean, it's like for me, it's like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, ApeCoin, maybe Ghost Token for like there's just not that many beyond that like top 4 or 5 that I'm like really interested in right now.
It feels like a proxy for the NFT space at this point. Like it feels like proxy exposure. Like if you think NFTs will do well, it's like that's what ApeCoin is. You know what I mean? Like that's where we're at in this space. It just feels like if NFTs have a resurgence, then ApeCoin will probably do extremely well. If we kind of just go away from that narrative and things start to be called digital collectibles, then it feels like ApeCoin won't do that well in that environment.
Tezos is another one that I like, that I would throw in there. But there's just not that many. I think you're right though. Like it is kind of a proxy. So it'll probably be extremely volatile around how the NFT market does in general. But you can then, if that's true, right? Like let's follow that logic, right? If ApeCoin is essentially operating right now as a proxy for the NFT space, and you look at where the NFT space is right now, we've been looking at all the different charts, including the Google search trends, or whatever, to see like we are at a 1 year low.
Yeah.
What does that mean from an investment perspective?
Yeah.
That means that like there could be a lot of upside, right? From here. It doesn't mean there's not more downside from here. I'm not saying anything, especially nothing as far as financial advice goes, but I am pointing out that like whether or not there's more downside from here, we know that there is at least potential for a lot of upside.
Yeah. So Squashman is saying, since launch, Ape has been very good for swing trading, goes through peaks and valleys that line up with speculation and announcements, then tanks a bit again, then goes back. Been $3 to $6 forever. So yeah.
Well, and the question is like, yeah, what will it actually take to get it to break out of that?
Yeah.
And so to your point, Q, it might be attached to the larger market, right? And there might not be much that it can do to get outside of this channel, until the market changes.
Flow was a little bit like this, by the way. Like the Flow token was a proxy for the NFT market. It got up to like 12 market cap in the world. Because it was this protocol that was for NFTs. And so people started speculating on it because of that. And when the NFT market went away, Flow got absolutely wrecked. Not that other things didn't as well, but Flow was at like $40 at one point. It's wild. It's sitting at like 96 cents today. It's wild.
Solana was at like 250 or some shit.
Yeah. Let's see. Lots of people are going to get rich in the bear market. Stay strong. Thank you, Quantum Variant, bringing us back. Quantum Variant, I love that comment. Nakamigos. Do we want to touch on Nakamigos today or tomorrow? Do you have anything to say here?
It's relevant today. Maybe we can come back with it tomorrow with any new findings. I would say look into it. It's obviously interesting. It's something that I'm going to be watching. It's high supply. It's 20,000 supply. There's a bunch of people speculating on it right now. It's got a ton of volume incoming, over like probably close to 3,500 ETH on secondary already. It was around 3,300 when we were talking about it a couple hours ago on GM Web3. Cool pixel art, as far as pixel art goes, like it's clean. I don't know that much about it. There's not that much info on like the OpenSea page. Less than 10K followers on Twitter, unless they hit 10K just in the last couple hours.
So the speculation here being that Larva Labs is behind the project, that was what was being thrown around.
Yeah, but like, I kind of hate that. Like, I don't even like saying that. You know what I mean?
Agreed. I agree with that. I it's the same kind of vibes as the Gitcoin Presents was like Vitalik's project. It's the same.
But that seems like it's actually a legit partnership. Like they have his name on that. Larva Labs is not named here.
Yeah, that's true. But they embellished. They embellished, and that project is wrecked right now. I guarantee it.
Yeah, but what I don't like is I've seen a lot of founders who are like just trying to pump and dump, basically spin up a bunch of different rumors, right? They get the rumor mills going in Discords and alpha chats, and they use that to just pump up their shit, and there's nothing behind it. So I'm not saying it's not true, but what I don't like is just when somebody's like, "Oh, people are saying that Larva Labs might be." It's like, bro.
NFT statistics saying, I also think it's highly unlikely that has anything to do with Larva, as 4156 was an honorary recipient, and he really had a very contentious relationship with Larva. So
see, NFT statistics doing good work out here.
Nakamigos have already done more lifetime trades than Bored Ape Yacht Club. How does this keep this is just this high velocity trading is what we've seen more of these where it's like has done more volume than BAYC in its entire lifetime. Stories in like the past 2 weeks than I've seen the entirety of the space beforehand. It's wild.
Yep. It is a crazy amount of volume, to your point, insane velocity. Yeah, and Marty McFly is back saying, "Is there another McFly?" Apparently there is, Marty. You're spawning new McFlys in our chat, which is pretty powerful. That's OP. Haven't seen anybody pull that one off yet. But Nakamigos will be 0 in 1 month. He might be right. Again, if this is just being propped up by rumor mills that are basically a bunch of idiots trying to pump some shitcoin, it's got 20,000 supply. It's going to be very hard to hold that value unless there's something legit behind this.
You have a window though. Look,
you have a window.
You have that window, but careful.
Well, Chuckle Toots was already saying that he made a flip or two, like, because this was like a free mint or like a cheap mint. So people that got in early are making money. There is a window. It's pumping, but to like what we've been saying with the way that Blur works, with the current market conditions, the window to make these flips has been shrinking. So, not financial advice. Be careful as fuck. You might be able to make some money on this thing right now with the amount of volume coming into it. But if if you're betting on some random rumors that somebody told you in a fucking alpha group chat that this thing is like, something it's not, I don't know. You're probably not gonna make it.
Yeah. So if you got in last week, even 3 or 4 days ago at this time, you're looking at what a floor price here, 0.01. So wow, yeah, it's pretty like a 10x basically. So again, I'm not fudding this. I will FUD the process of using somebody's like brand and IP and all this stuff and say that they are associated with the project without that being true. I think that's even illegal. But I will not, FUD the people making money, and maybe not Nakamigos long term. I don't know the true answer here yet.
Well, and the other thing Marty's thrown in here is Satoshi. Apparently, it was airdropped to like some other Satoshi collection, I think. So there is a chance that it's related to Satoshi. Satoshi is behind MFers and does have a successful history. So, look, if that's true, that's at least something. But like, will that hold the value in for a 20K supply project like this and this kind of volume? It's going to crash at some point, right? Yeah. Just don't feel that pain. And appreciate Don R for always bringing in the historical perspective here, talking about the internet and then how 1999, only 4% of people.
19 diggity too.
Yeah. Only 4% of people were on the internet and most thought it was going to fail. Yeah. So just imagine 23 years from now, we're going to be looking pretty smart.
A quantum variant, I heard Mournbirds are connected to Larva Labs. Let's start that up.
Yo, I heard
Sarah and Quantum. I heard Vitalik has a bunch of Mournbirds. I heard this. I heard Satoshi is a Mournbird. No?
I heard.
Okay.
That.
I heard the black hoodies are worn on a Monday, which we have definitely taken under as part of our process here. You look like Palpatine.
Yeah.
All right, we're nerding out. Folks, our brains melt at like the hour and 45 minute mark. I just want to let you know. So we do have to get out of here. Again, we're here tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. Thank you guys if you're tuning in on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. If you're tuning in after the fact, we appreciate y'all so very much. When Mournbirds on Bitcoin is an actual question, though, and I appreciate the capitalization of C on Bitcoin, as was foretold. All right, so we have to get out of here. Again, Gifted, I will let you take us out. Our vibe, our tribe. I'll see you on the Twitterverse. I'll see you on the interwebs here, and we'll be out tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. That's it. GM Web3 starts at 8 a.m. Pacific, and then more NFT Live. Getting to hang out with this fine fellow over here. We appreciate y'all. Smash the like if you haven't, because if you don't, Satoshi is coming for your bags.
Hey, let's make sure we don't coordinate on the black hoodies every episode. That let's make sure that doesn't happen. All right, guys.
It's bound to happen at least 50% of the time.
That's fair. Well, our past episodes don't confirm those statistics, but we'll see. It was
check NFTGO.
Check
NFTGO to make sure those stats are legit.